So today in Arc Raiders, I have 12 brand new tips that should definitely help you Raiders out when playing Arc Raiders. So let's hop right into it. So to start this one off, I am going to show you a new grenade that has been added into the game. Now to get this grenade, you will need to farm comets, and you will indeed need to get the comet igniter off of the comet. Once you get the comet igniter, you can actually use this as an explosive throwable. Now it does do some decent damage, but it also can be a little finicky at times. Sometimes this thing will spin back towards you, similar to how the comet does spin around as well. But nonetheless, it's still a fun grenade to use, and I would highly recommend using it. So for tip number 2, just in case you guys didn't know, there actually is a secret room up here. But what you need to do is you need to actually repair this lift, and then you need another raider to actually hold the lift to be able to get up and open the door. It's a breachable door, but there actually is a way to get in here as a solo player. So how you do this is you come here to this side. Don't fall like I did. And now you want to come back up here like so. So once you're down on the ledge, if you set up a barricade here at a little bit of an angle, get at an angle like so. Now what we can do here is we can go back up to the very top, and then we are going to drop onto the barricade. Alright, now once you drop onto the barricade, you can breach open this door and get into this locked room where you usually would need 2 players. We can hop down here, dismantle our barricade. Oh, we can get into the room. Super handy for solo players. Get in and get yourself some loot. You don't require a second player, and you don't even need to repair the lift. All you need is one good old barricade kit. So for tip number 3, did you know that if you bring a barricade into the raid, when you are indeed fighting the new Arc, the Arc turbine, you actually can dodge his attacks? As I'm going to show you now how good the barricade actually is. Here comes his attack. Let's get right in here. And we're good. It's that easy. You just got to stay super close to the barricade and you will indeed dodge his attacks. So for tip number 4, make sure you're not shooting the Arc turbine while he's in the air and wait for him to land. This is why. And now we can wait for the blue lights. Once the lights turn blue at the bottom, that means he's going to set down his mines again. There goes the mines. And he is indeed going to get a little bit lower to the ground here, and he's going to open up his weak spots once again, and we can hit him with a couple of more shots at the hull cracker. Now, get our barricade down here, nice and close. By doing it this way, you will do a ton more damage because you're going to be hitting him into the yellow canisters, which is indeed his weak spot. You will use way less resources rather than if you're shooting him when he's in the sky where he's in fully armored mode. So make sure he lands. Just a little bit of patience is key. And on to tip number 5. If you combine both of these 2 new items, the power descender and the crash mat, you can indeed get down from the very top of the space tower building. So let's throw this one down here. All we gotta do is wait for that to hit the floor. Now we're gonna drop. That is how you survive, like that. Combining both of these together will indeed get you down from the very top of the launch tower building on Spaceport. So for tip number 6, back to the crash mat once again. Did you know you actually don't have to just throw the crash mat like so and drop onto it? You actually can throw the crash mat mid fall damage, and this will indeed reduce fall damage from greater heights. Yes, I just realized I said mid fall damage, but you get the point. You can throw the crash mat while you're falling to reduce even more fall damage. So for tip number 7, I have used this one before, but people said that I was bluffing and it doesn't actually work. But when you come to Raider up here and you come into your projects, say this project for example ends, the avian alarm, this ends in 11 days. So what I've done was I left all of these undone, and I only started doing them after my expedition. I will indeed get to unlock all these items after my expedition, so I'll also get a blueprint, anvil 4, and all the rest of these items as well. It's a good little start to do at the start of every expedition. If you have a project that does run in the same time as the expedition, and you have, like, say for example, there's still 11 days left on the avian alarm, so there's plenty of time for me to be able to complete all 5 pages of the avian alarm. Same with the trophy display as well. I still haven't completed my trophy display. I waited until after the expedition, so therefore I get all these items after the expedition. This is a really useful way to get some good items back once you've wiped your character. So for tip number 8, if any of you are struggling to get mushrooms for Scrappy while trying to level him up after the wipe, I have one of the most insane locations for you. If you come to the dried riverbed, now this dried riverbed runs all the way from my location down here to the bottom, right up here near this extraction. You can indeed come to these logs. As you can see, mushrooms. Now I have pulled out like 6 to 10 mushrooms on a good run here. And a bad run I was pulling out like 4 mushrooms, which is still really good. All the other locations are absolutely full of players right now. It will definitely help you upgrade Scrappy that little bit quicker. So all you want to do is come to all these broken branches that are indeed on the dried riverbed, and you will indeed find mushrooms. Here we have some more. Definitely one of the best mushroom farms in the game at the moment. As you can see, I've done a quick run there of the dried riverbed. 4 mushrooms is what I've got, but you can easily pull out 4 to 10 mushrooms on a good run in this location. So for tip number 9, if you have been actually struggling to kill the arc turbine or even the new arc vaporizer, if you come here to these arc couriers and you breach them open, you actually do have a chance of finding a turbine compressor in these. And not only that, you can also get the vaporizer regulators in here as well. So these are definitely worth looting up, these arc couriers, as a really good chance of finding the vaporizer regulator, and not only that, the new turbine compressor. And on to tip number 10. Make sure if you are planning on taking down Rocketeers, vaporizers, or even the new arc turbine, if you bring in a power descender, it makes it so much easier to be able to put a deadline on top of this arc, and while they're flying away, you can easily descend without taking any damage. Right now, the power descender is one of the best items to use when taking down these flying arc, because it's super easy to get down. So for tip number 11, if you have been struggling to get the rusted gears in your usual old spot, which was over here by the generator hall, I do indeed have another spot that is really good for getting them rusted gears. They can be a little bit awkward to get, but all you need to do is come to the controlled access zone here. Once you've made your way to the controlled access zone, we are indeed going to drop down like so. Now you want to be looting absolutely every container in this building, and I like to start out here with these red ones. This is a very good spot to be getting rusted gears. If you have the key for this place as well, make sure you're bringing it. So loot all the red containers in here, come out here, then we're going to loot every single container that we can. And you should be able to get yourself some rusted gears. There we go, first rusted gear in the bag. Now if you're lucky, RNG gods will be good to you. You'll get a lot more than one. So we're going to go downstairs here. There's a couple of more containers we can open up. And there we go, there's a second one. Watch out for the old turret here. You can easily pull out 3 rusted gears in one run, which is super handy. This is much better than the previous location on this map, which seems to be a little bit terrible at the moment. But this is definitely the new location to come to if you want to get those rusted gears. And for tip number 12, the final tip. Now I don't actually have a hurricane raid event on for another 5 hours, but I guarantee if you bring in the powered descender into a hurricane raid, you are going to have a ton of fun. You will get around the map so much quicker. I really do wish I had an event on here to show you how good it is, but believe me, bring the powered descender into a hurricane raid event and you will be flying it around the map. Anyways, that is 12 brand new tips in Arc Raiders. Hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of content. Stay safe out there, and I will talk to you in the next one.